It's called a Sunan because its focus on practical matters. Because aren't all the narrations in Sunan Ibn Majah about doctrinal or legal matters? Narration 188 refers to Surah 58:1, and Aisha had supplicated, acknowledging God as hearing of all the voices, and related how this woman came to complain about her husband. She didn't hear what the complaint was, but, God revealed that verse. Narration 190 relates about Jabber's father being killed on the day of the Battle of Uhud, and some people are communicated with God in a veiled way, but his father had been communicated with God in a direct way. And Surah 3, Ayat 169 relates to this. Narration 193 was the analogous teaching at Batha, when a cloud is passed overhead, while the clouds passed overhead, and they were asked, how much distance do you think there is between you and the heavens? And they said, we don't know. And they were told 71 or 72 or 73 years. And between each heaven and the next, likewise. And something like a sea atop that, or around that, or, and the distance of that is, again, like the one heaven to the next. And then there are 8, like unto mountain goats. And these, between one hoof and the other, it's like the distance between one heaven and the next. And the analogy also is drawn elsewhere of the, you have one ring of a desert. You throw a ring into the desert, that's the comparison of one heaven to the further heaven. And the lowest heaven is the one with all these stars and such. And what they found, an individual star 12 point something billion miles away recently. But on the back of these 8 is the divine throne, which has a similar division between top and bottom. But at the very least, because you say that God is exalted above all that, we come to certain conclusions regarding that, right? That, whatever you can think of as the vast, it's small compared to something else, and small compared to something else, and small compared to something else. But the likeness of those light beings to mountain goats is an interesting comparison, but you can tell that the rest of it is metaphorical references, right? Narration 194 relates how that when God decrees something, the light beings in unison respond by beating their wings, like a chain beating a rock. And Surah 34, Ayat 23 is related to this. And chains of eavesdroppers, from the jinn, will pile up on top of each other to try to hear and then transmit. And of these, then a soothsayer may, multiply the lies on top of that. And the next narration refers to how the creation is veiled from God, and that veil protects it from being burnt up, you could say, from God's essence. And the deeds are taken from the day and night shifts,